Okay, I'm so excited that all of you are here. We're just waiting for a couple more people to trickle in. But while we're getting everyone in the Zoom room, if you could just say where you're beaming in from. And for those of you who weren't here yesterday, even if you were here yesterday, maybe share your greatest takeaways and aha moments from yesterday. And also, what has really brought you here today? Because today is all about flow. So let me pin myself. And so today I'm just going to tell you, I'm just going to start, even though, yeah, no, it's okay. We'll start in like a minute or two. We'll see if there are a couple like latecomers. But today really is all about the magic of flow. And I'm just so excited to share this with you because the goddess that really presented herself, really wanting to come forward, for the energy of flow is Saraswati. And I'm not sure, I don't know if you guys maybe could do a kind of like a show of hands in the chat. How many of you are familiar with Saraswati? And if you're familiar with her, if you could put a 1 in the chat. And if you're not familiar with her, put a 2 in the chat. Or I saw Sydney raised her. Like, if you want to raise your hand, that's also good too. Okay, so we've got some 1s, we have some 2s. Okay, so people are not that familiar with her. Got a couple 2s. Well, you're in luck because Saraswati is one of my favorite goddesses. And I'm super excited just because, we have another 1. Okay. So Saraswati is a goddess I've connected with, I'd say for many years, but also for many lifetimes. And I think people always, get surprised because I do like all the different work with the Celtic goddesses. And then it always kind of takes them by surprise. And it's like, wait, you've gone to this kind of sacred Hindu goddess, like what's going on? But oh my God, Saraswati, when you work with her, the thing that I always say is your words will flow like the river. And it is like a transformative experience working with this goddess. And so I have 2 beautiful activations that we're going to do together in this space. I also want to teach a little bit about her before we move into the activations, because I know some of you are unfamiliar with her. But let me just see, before I start teaching, I wonder if anyone, the people who are familiar, maybe you want to put in like one thing about Saraswati that you know in the chat. And if you don't know, it's okay, because you're about to learn. I have a lot planned for us today. Okay, she's connected with swans. Yes, yes. And so I love this because one thing that's really, really cool. So swans really are the birds of the other worlds. And so I love this because Bridget, her bird is also the swan. So I've always loved that these 2 goddesses, these 2 creativity goddesses, have the same totem animal. So I just really love that. And swans really are carrying the potency, the magic of the other worlds. I have, Cindy says like goddess of education, learning, and Hinduism. Yes. Let's see, Claudine. Yes. Goddess of inspiration and beautiful music. Yes. I'm like so excited, to dive deeply with you guys. Oh my goodness. So yeah, this is a powerhouse goddess. I love her so much. Like words cannot express how much she means to me. And really, I'm just like, my conscious intention for all of you is that you feel transformed by the end of our day together by the work that we're doing with this sacred goddess. And so I actually wanted to start with a quick PowerPoint presentation. So hopefully we can get that up. My wonderful assistant, Sydney, is here helping me. Oh yes, someone else said music with the sitar. Yes. I've always wanted to play a sitar, but I'm not that musically inclined. Hold on. So we're just getting the presentation up for today. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so beautiful. So day 2, flow. And now I wanted to share a couple of words. Like some of you said this in the chat, but let's go to the, Sydney, can we go to the next slide? Thank you. So Saraswati is the goddess of eloquent speech, writing and music, flow, learning, creative intuition, sacred insight, knowledge, wisdom, and pure creative magic. And really, like, we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but like Saraswati is there in the Hindu creation story. She is pure creative power. So we're really going to dive into that today. But first, I wanted to show a picture of the goddess. So I think that's going to be in the next slide. Okay, so beautiful. We're actually starting early with the writing. So everyone, I would like you to, I know like yesterday I did a lot more warm up with you guys, but today I know that you guys have already been warmed up, and I want you just to go right now kind of into like that sacred part of you that's already ready to be, be in the sacred space. And so this is an image of the Goddess Saraswati, and I'm going to give you guys, I promise, not too long, just like 3 minutes. And I want you to look at this image and write down just like anything that really comes through when you're looking at her. So what does this picture evoke in you, right? About any feelings, body sensation, memories, or just connections that arise. Really let the energy of this goddess flow through you onto the page. These are just general impressions, because I know for some of you, this is the first time you were ever connecting with Saraswati. So let me see. I have it that it is 1:09. I'm going to give you 3 minutes, and don't think too hard about this. Just write what comes through. Okay, 1 more minute left, and then we're going to share. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so let's go out of the picture. If you are still writing, oh wait, no, let's go out of the slides. Stop screen share. Thank you. Thank you. So beautiful. Okay, so I said this to people who were here yesterday, but I never make people share their writing if it's not comfortable for them. But is there anyone that would like to share what they wrote about the Goddess Saraswati? What kind of came through when you were connecting with her energetically? I would love to hear if anyone wants to share their writing or just their general impressions. You can also put it in the chat. I know not everyone wants. Oh, Claudine, hold on, wait. It's like, I get so excited. Now let's see if I can, let's see if I can unmute you. Oh, I think you unmuted yourself. Let me,
yeah, okay.
I'm gonna, hold on. I'm going to pin you. So we're together. Okay.
I just wrote down a few words, so I'll just say what I wrote. I wrote flow, mellifluous, generosity, joyful expression, divine light, uninhibited, fascination, enchantment, benevolence, pure joy, pure beauty, pure love, doing what you love, expression through highest beauty, and playfulness.
Oh my God, I love all of those. I love them all. I love expression through highest beauty. I love benevolence. I love doing what you love. Oh my God, that was so gorgeous. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
I feel like you really I feel like you embodied her essence when you shared all that. Oh, thank you. Let me oh no, I don't know how to remove the pin. I think, oh wait, no. Okay, don't worry. I'll figure out how to remove you in a second. Remove pin. I think I did it. You guys should see, I get so proud of myself when I do a good job with technology. Yes. Thank you. I know like Claudine is applauding me. Let me see what people have written in the chat. Oh wow. Oh yeah, I think it's Cindy. Or Cindy who wrote, yes, I also started with flow. Oh, Nicole, you also wrote play. Yes, yes, I just love that. And so someone up here, oh, Claudine, yes, you said that you were seeing peacocks with her as well. Yes, I know. I feel like that's just such a perfect bird for her. Hold on. And Venus, you just raised your hand. I'm gonna let me pin you. I'm gonna add the pin. And if you can unmute yourself.
Hi.
Hi.
So I noticed that she had 4 hands and 2 of them were on the instrument, and then one was holding like mala beads up and the other one had a box. So I'm just curious like what the symbolism of the 4 hands and like what those mean and what she was holding. The peacock really stood out to me, and I noticed her crown had like a peacock feather on the top. And so with the peacock and just the way she was sitting, and it looked like maybe she was sitting in water, I just wrote divine eloquent inspiration was like the essence that I was getting from her picture.
Oh,
So
I love that. Divine.
yeah.
Yes, she is very eloquent. And it's so funny. She's elegant and eloquent. And I love, like you mentioned, like the hands, because I think that's the thing is Saraswati really is guardian over so many different things. She really is like the custodian of learning, wisdom, but also music. Like I really do feel that she holds so many different powers. So I really love that you observed that. And I think the peacock is a bird of just pure beauty. And I really feel that she, like when we work with Saraswati, it's like we are really working with that higher energy of beauty. And that's what I really feel like she inspires in us. When we suddenly have eloquence, that's beautiful speech, beautiful language that just flows from the tongue. So really Saraswati is pivotal for us coming into beautiful expression, whether that is on the page with our writing or just like when we're talking to people in the world. So a little known thing, I will usually invoke the goddess Saraswati, like I'll do it before writing, but even if I have like kind of like a difficult conversation or just a conversation where I really want my words to flow with the highest level beauty, like she really brings that energy through. So thank you for noticing that and paying also special attention to the peacock. So yes, thank you so much for sharing. It's always very brave. I think it's very brave to share. So let me see. I'm gonna remove the pin. Beautiful. And let me just see if anyone else has written in the chat. Yes, I love Claudine saying that you would love to play the sitar. I know. Looks like it looks like a fun instrument. Hold on. And Jennifer, okay. So Jennifer, I think your picture is off. So I'm just going to let you, if you want to just talk, we don't have to, if you want to put your picture on, your picture. Okay. Let me.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, no, there's nothing to be sorry about. I'm just going to bring you here so that everyone can see you.
Okay. So I really loved connecting initially with Saraswati, and the message that came to me was like that you belong here, that you belong here, and that that whole divine expression of what you seek is seeking you. And so it was just this glorious divine invitation and a welcoming and a sense of really belonging, like invited to play amongst the gods and goddesses. And that's like an invitation for everyone. That's not exclusive to me, but I loved receiving that because it feels really good just to be included and to feel like I'm wanted there as much as I want to be there. So
I love that. No, I think the goddesses, like, they want us to connect with them. That's the whole thing. And I really feel like we have like I think a lot of these goddesses were forgotten for like hundreds of years. And like, so there's like this sacred remembrance. And I think they're just so happy that we want to connect with their energy, because it's really about like us, like having new levels of consciousness, but also then like bringing kind of their energy into our own embodiment and forming like loving relationships with them. So I just love that. Like the divine is seeking you just as much as you are seeking it. That is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Of course. And if I might, there's just one other thing about the peacock. Peacocks have come up quite a bit for me lately. And so I have kind of looked just a little bit into the medicine of peacocks. And actually what I found was that it can be about like the idea of resurrection and very much connected to the phoenix.
I love that. No, it's so funny. When I was in Avalon, like it was like a year ago, I was there. I was trying to find this like sacred tree and I kept getting lost. And this peacock, like he kept crossing my path. And I was like, what's happening here? And it took me literally an entire week trying to find the sacred tree. And every time I would try to go, I would get lost and the peacock would find me instead. So maybe there's something there about that resurrection. I love that. I've actually never heard that before. So I love that energy of like the phoenix, because they really both have that really elegant plumage. So like, I really love that. Thank you for sharing that with everyone here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Let me remove the pin. Okay, beautiful. And before we go into the next part, I just want to check the chat. Like, okay. Oh, Michelle, the first word for you was angels. I love that. Yes. I was like, I do feel like there's something very angelic. People usually, when they connect with Saraswati, they feel a very celestial, very heavenly energy. So we're actually going to go into an activation in a minute with Saraswati. But first, and it's so funny. So today is all about flow. But, I had like another energy that really wanted to present itself. But before I do that, I want to light. So I'm really excited because I have something fun to share with you, kind of like surprise, like meditation that is going to end up connecting with flow. But first, I want us to light our candles from yesterday. So I know if you do not have a candle, it's okay. This candle that I'm holding is for everyone here. But so this is our candle of magic and inspiration for this whole week. So yesterday we really called in the goddess Bridget for inspiration. And today we're really calling Saraswati into the space for everyone here and everyone watching the replay to really cultivate this energy of flow. So I invite you, I'm going to take I think my candle is like, now it's like imprinted in its holster, but just hold your candle if you have one. And if not, just send loving thoughts out and just really come into the full intention of creating flow in your writing, but also in your life. And so just really pour that energy into your candle, really just send that out to the universe. Beautiful. And we're asking the goddess Saraswati to be with us and bless all of us here in this sacred space. Bless our words with the magic and medicine of flow. Okay. Now I'm going to light my candle. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, good. I told everyone here, I had this like yesterday I had like this stage fright. Like I was going to like try to light the candle. It just wasn't going to work. I was like, so no, I keep being so happy. It's like, no, it's all good. It works. So I want to talk about, so yes, no, Venus, I see your candle so pretty. Oh my goodness. So I just want to talk about another energy that came through, and I'm going to tie this into flow in a minute. But so when I was like really sitting with Saraswati and really sitting with the energy, what wanted to come through for everyone today, it was so funny. So a phrase came through, something that I used to think about probably like 6 or 7 years ago a lot. And the phrase that came through was the bliss of being. And so this is funny. So I can tell you, when I got my master's in creative writing, we had to like write, we had to write an essay about what writing meant to us. And so for me, I described writing as the bliss of being. And I obviously like this is before my spiritual gifts were really like online. And I just was like, this whole thing poured through me. And I remembered showing, it was like my boyfriend at the time, like, this is the essay I'm sending. And he was like, what is this concept? Like, where did you get this? And I was like, oh, it just poured through me. This is my concept. This is my idea. And so it's funny because then a couple years later, when I was in more spiritual circles, I realized that that concept, the bliss of being, is also known in like, the Indian, in the mythos as Ananda. And so this idea of the bliss of being, I believe it's something that my soul just remembered from previous lifetimes, that times I had spent in India. Like I said, I have a lot of deep connection with the Goddess Saraswati from not just this lifetime, but others. And so, of course, when I sat down to write this essay to get into grad school and really tapped into the energy of flow, what should come through but writing to me as the bliss of being. And so I realized that there is this very powerful connection between bliss and flow, which I want to explore more today. But before so I'm just kind of whetting your appetite. But before I go into that, I want to just let you have an experience, because I could share like almost like my thesis of why I feel these two energies are connected, but that would like rob you of you having a sacred experience yourself in one of our guided journeys. And then you can see how bliss and flow feel connected for you. So I'm actually going to start as doing a sacred meditation, really with the energy of bliss. So I invite you to just close your eyes. And actually, before we get started, I'm going to just actually call in the sacred circle, because I love to do that. So I'm casting this circle around me and everyone here live and on the replay to create a space beyond space and time beyond time. I cast the circle to block out all energies and spirits that are not allies of ours. I cast this circle that all energies raised herein remain confined. As below, so with that. Oh, I love how I started to say as beloved. As within, so below. And so the circle is sealed, blessed be. And so in this sacred space, I really want to call the great Goddess Saraswati, be with us in this sacred space, fill our hearts with love, with bliss. Oh, and we're really calling in this energy of sacred flow, calling in the energy of flow. I'm also calling in the great spirit of the ocean. Calling in the great spirit of the ocean. I want to call in also mermaid energy, water sprites, all different holy beings connected to the sacred waters. Be with us in this sacred space. Our intention for today is to really open everyone up to Ananda, the bliss of being, and to help that bliss serve as a vehicle for divine feminine flow. So really making that our active intention. And in this moment, I'm inviting you to just like inwardly, if there's any guides that you work with, just kind of call them into this space. I want you to feel fully supported by your guides. And so now, without further ado, let us go into our first journey for today. So I invite you to just, take a couple deep breaths. And find yourself, you arrive at a beautiful stream beneath a mountain. And now I'd like you to really envision this beautiful stream beneath the mountain. It's a river, and you're standing in it. It is beautiful, pure, warm water, and the sun is beaming down overhead. In the center of this river is a beautiful white lotus flower. Its petals are closed, But as you take in the flower with your eyes, as you really behold it, the flower grows in size until it's as big as a rose bush and it blooms in front of you. From this flower, you see the goddess Saraswati step forward. The goddess has knowledge of many things, music, language, art, but she also has knowledge of something else, something that is elusive for many people. Today, I'd like you to consider the word bliss. Saraswati asks you to think about, what does bliss mean to you? What has it meant for you over the course of your life? Has it been something far away, unachievable, or is it something real that you've lived and experienced, something sweet that you felt and tasted? As you're feeling into this, another white lotus flower appears. This one is small and appears at your feet. You bend down to pick up the flower, bringing it to your nose, feeling the delicate petals on the pads of your fingers. Saraswati smiles and says, this flower is bliss, or what the yogis call ananda, the pure bliss of being. Smell this flower and feel yourself open now to bliss. How does it feel in your body? And now in this moment, I invite you to see if Saraswati has any words of wisdom for you in this space, anything to help you tune into the energy of bliss or bring this into your daily life. Just open your heart and see what she has to say. Beautiful. And as you're savoring this experience of bliss, 1,000 flowers start to fall from the heavens, one by one into the river. And the river sweeps those flowers up in the current so that it's this beautiful dance of color and water. Saraswati whispers that this is your bliss path, the path to your highest bliss and liberation. Walk up the river, walk up the bliss path, walk up the bliss path, passing these fallen flowers, seeing them ripple in the current and bear in the stream. Smell the perfume the flowers release into the air and see what feelings they evoke. Just really feel yourself walking up this sacred stream, the bliss path. And as you walk through this river, this path to your greatest, deepest bliss will be shown to you. Open your mind's eye to see if there are any visions that want to make themselves known to you. Maybe there's a symbol that appears to you. Maybe there's something you see that's coming for you in the future. Or maybe it's a memory, a deep knowing that you have in your soul. But let the way of bliss reveal itself to you now. Open to what wants to be seen, whatever Saraswati is ready to show you. Just open fully to receive whatever wants to come through. And now to prepare for the magical writing that we're going to do today, the Saraswati mantra is going to be shared with you. So just listen to this mantra, let it wash over you, receiving the frequencies. There's nothing you have to do, but just be with the energy. So expect to hear this 9 times. Om, Aim, Saraswati Namaha. 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 Feel this really rippling through you. Om, Aim, Saraswati Namaha. And one last time. Om, Aim, Saraswati Namaha. And really feel the goddess in your heart space now. Feel your heart opening even more to the experience of true bliss. Know that writing and creative expression is an emanation of the true bliss of being. You are here in the sacred space, fully alive, and words are some of the greatest gifts that you have to share with the world. In this moment, open your heart fully to the fire of creativity, to the great bliss of being. And now, as you're opening, feel your form changing, transforming as you undergo a metamorphosis, and feel yourself turning now from a human being into a pure white lotus flower. And in this moment, you become the embodiment of bliss. You become this sacred lotus flower. Just stay here for a moment, really feeling yourself as the embodiment of this sacred flower, the embodiment of bliss. Take a couple more deep breaths. Saraswati approaches you, and you feel yourself transform once more into the human form that you had at the beginning of this journey. Saraswati says, it is time for you to go back to the place you came from. It is time for you to write and create and come into the sacred energy of flow. But know that you can always take this energy of bliss with you. Know that this is something that is always here for you. This is something I want you to know on the deepest level of your being. Every moment of your life, you can open to this energy. It is here, ready and waiting for you to receive it. Call upon me, open your heart to me, and I will be there waiting like a lotus flower in the sacred river. I invite you to take one last look at the Goddess Saraswati, at this sacred place. Really breathe in the energies of this place. And now feel yourself transported once more through time and space, back to the room where you first began today's journey. And I invite you to rub your palms together or like feel your feet against the floor. Just really come back into this sacred space. And I want us to do a writing exercise now while that energy is still really fresh for you. So if we can pull up the slides, that would be amazing. Actually, not this one. Keep going. Keep going, please. Next one. This one. Beautiful. So these are your prompts. Write about any of them. This literally is up to you. I always create an extra prompts for people. And so for writing prompts, make sure this is the moment to take out your notebook. Write about your experience with Saraswati and the sacred activation of bliss. What did it feel like to follow the path of bliss, to walk the path of bliss? Did the goddess have any special messages for you? And this is for the people who are already writers, who already identify as that. What topics do you write about that put you in a state of bliss? And really think about that. Or if you prefer, feel into the energy of this word that I've mentioned, Ananda, the bliss of being. What does that mean to you? And one last thing you can do to really get into this energy of bliss is, chronicle your most beloved experiences in this lifetime and all those moments of true bliss. So I'm going to give you 7 minutes. It's 1:37. So I will let you know when 5 minutes is up, and in 7 minutes, we'll come back to this space and we'll all share. So we have 5 minutes, like we've completed 5 minutes, and so you have 2 left. Okay. So, ready, can we do the next slide? So time to share. Does anyone want to share what came through for them in the meditation or in their writing? So can we get out of the slide and let's see. Like I said, I never make anyone share, but I would love if anyone wants to either raise their hand or if you want to put something in the chat about what that experience was like for you or what came through when you were writing. Oh, Nicole. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna.
Ah.
Hi.
I can share. I wrote about what writing brings bliss or whatever.
Mhm.
I said, when I'm writing with a sense of curiosity, exploring the pull of an idea that I don't quite know the truth of, the discovery is what brings the bliss. The excitement of carving away to find the work of art inside. That's what I wrote. And then I wrote a list of moments I felt most alive or in bliss. And a whole bunch of things.
I love that. No, but I just love this idea of like kind of carving away. And I just think that's so beautiful. I like you said, like the moments that you're most in bliss are when you're curious. I love that because I think that one thing that we were talking about yesterday is like almost like the block being like having to know what it is. But it's almost like when you're actually most in flow and most in the creative process, it's because you've let that go. Like you actually let that go and you're just genuinely curious of like, because I know that you write fiction. So it's like, what are these characters going to do today? And like, it's that kind of thing when they surprise you. So I really love that kind of natural curiosity as like the time that you feel most alive with your writing. So I love that. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, for being brave. I really appreciate it. And I see someone else has raised their hand. 1 second. Let me see. Cindy, I hope I'm saying this right. Let me add the pen.
Oh, hi, Elizabeth, and hello, fellow quills. If I could just share very, very briefly what actually came to mind. And I'm actually sitting here in a very cold south of Africa. I'm in South Africa, and I'm actually sitting next to my heater. And what actually came through to me is also linked to the space that I seem to be in at this point in my life. Okay, so Goddess Saraswati actually, I think, came to remind me of, well, let me actually share. And these were the words that just came to me. Beautiful soul, I invite you to receive my words like showers of petals washing over you and into the lotus of your own heart. Though you see me in relaxed repose on this perfect, unblemished lotus, and I see both the awe and reverence in your eyes, I feel the fragility of your being. So heed my words like notes in my instrument, plucked gently, though lingering in the mind's ear, like tiny wavelets coming to you from across an ocean. This perfect lotus that you behold has its own tale to tell. It has taken much fortitude and forging ahead through thick sludge, murky mud, and snarling tendrils to push forth through to the light and emerge on this water, on this mirror water. Sorry, and that's where I stopped.
Oh, sorry. I thought that you stopped for a second, like a second earlier, because I could feel you winding down. That was so beautiful. Oh my God. You have true poetry that flows through you. Oh my God. That was so
Thank you.
beautiful. Someone in the chat wrote so soothing. Yeah, it really was really soothing and rhythmic. And I really felt transported listening to your words. I really feel like when I say transported, it was like being in another world, listening to what you just shared. Oh my God. And I think it's so funny because I think of it as like summer out here. And of course, like you're in South Africa, it's like, I feel like I'm by my heater and it's cold. So it might be nice to connect with Saraswati because it's very warm. It's like, it's a very kind of warm energy when you connect with her. And especially we traveled to that sacred river. So thank you so much for sharing. I just thought that was so beautiful. And I just really felt like it was such a great, like, I just felt like your soul power, your soul voice, like you just evoked the true power of your soul and really brought that out here for everyone to listen to and experience. So thank you. I just thought that was so beautiful. And so let me remove the pin. Okay, let me check the chat. Let's see, Michelle. Oh, I think that you were having a hard time raising your hand. I know that was a little while ago, but Michelle, if you still want to raise your hand for anything, just let me know, put it in the chat, and I'm going to try to make sure that we get to have you talk. And oh, okay, wait, hold on. We have hold on, let me add pin. Here we go. And you are still muted, but I'm really excited to hear what you wrote.
Forgot my mic. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what came through for me, a message from her in the meditation was that, it doesn't have to be such a fleeting thing that we think it is. This is a state of being that we can tap into at any time. Oh, it's always here. Even if the world might try to tell you otherwise, or the people around you might make you think it's hard, it is still always here if we just reach out for it, if we just be it. And then just writing about, the things that bring me bliss, whether in writing itself, which, that was the first thing that came to me, or just so many small things that really make you think, like just realizing how easy it really is and how present it really is if you just notice it and allow it to be and flow, getting in that state of flow, the flow state, right? That is really what I think evokes it the most for me. So yeah.
Oh no, I'm so glad. That was, oh my God, that was so eloquently expressed. I felt like Saraswati through you. Oh
Oh,
my God. No, I'm serious. Like such power when you just spoke. So powerful. And I love that because that's how I feel too. It's like when we get like kind of more downtrodden or down on the world, it's like that bliss state is there. It's not, it's not some kind of fabled thing or just like something that's only for a certain number of people. Every single one of us, by virtue of being alive, we just have to connect with that energy and tap in and call it into our experience. And so I love that. And I feel like someone like Saraswati or going on one of these kinds of guided journeys where we meet these goddesses, they help us open our heart to that state. And I really feel like once we're in touch with that bliss inside us, like you said, like that's how we shift into that, that incredible flow, whether that's in speech or in writing. Oh my God, just because the way that you just spoke, there was so much flow. Like, yes, like there was passion and power, but there was just flow. And so really that is the gift, the blessing of Saraswati. And so I'm trying to like illustrate here. I feel like Arve is this perfect example of this kind of dance, this dance that's happening between flow and bliss, how one really feeds and leads into the other. And I just really want to just once more repeat what you said about the state of bliss being available to all of us. I think that was so beautiful that you said that. And that not just that you said that, but you felt it, you experienced it. And I think that that really is the magic of this goddess. Thank you so much for sharing.
yeah, absolutely. And just, what you said too, like dancing, that's, how many times do we put on a good song and just really get into it and you just go to a whole nother place? You can do that at any point. Being in nature, you can do that at any point. We are nature. We are always in it. So yeah.
I love that. No, especially I love the dancing because it's that right there. It's that combination of bliss and flow. Everyone here who dances, I know there's some of you here who love dancing. It's like, it's that same thing happening, that dance, that marriage of bliss and flow. So thank you. That was a really potent answer. I love that. Okay. So I think that's the last one I can do for that round. Oh, I've got one more. Okay, I'll do one more. Okay, this is it. I was like, this is the last one. And then we will move on, but let me, I'm not sure your name. Is it Sybil?
Yes.
Hi, what would you like to share?
I got a message from Saraswati, which I would like to share with you all. She says, I want you to feel bliss, the bliss of the goddess. Within you, reach out to me and I inspire thee. To be me and to be you, at the same time, united in the rhyme. I am you and you are me, and the divine is in the rhyme. Come home, daughter of mine, to the flow of the divine. Words come into existence by your reminiscence of the divine within, showing itself in writing. The divine words of the peacock bring out the essence in a book. Bring the divine vibration into a singing intuition. Allow the arts to flow through and find that thereby reborn you.
Oh my goodness, that was so beautiful. Oh my God, I have like poets here. Like beautiful. Oh my God. Thank you for sharing that. And again, it was that same thing. Like, I feel like, the goddess is wanting us to like experience the bliss, like the bliss of the goddess, and actually kind of know that that's not just for these goddesses, like, in the clouds, but that this is for us to experience. And they want us to have this experience too. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And again, your words were so beautiful, so magical. You people in the chat, like giving you lots of love and appreciation.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Inspiration.
Yes.
Elizabeth.
Claudine wrote like mellifluous energy. I'm going to read what she said for you because it's just so beautiful. Let's see here. Okay. There was a bunch of stuff in the chat. My technology isn't cooperating, but I just want you to know that was so I felt transported. Like I said this to the other woman who, shared her poetry, but like I really felt like listening to you. It's like you took me to another world. And that is the highest compliment. And also that really is the magic of Saraswati. When people connect with her, she really is like a very otherworldly goddess. Someone like Bridget, who we worked with yesterday, is more, because she's like that fire goddess, she's very elemental and connected to like the earth elements. But Saraswati really has a very celestial energy. So I think that you were really having that come through you. So I'm just so excited. So for everyone here today who was like, I don't really know about Saraswati, you're really getting like, this is initiation for all of you into her energy. So I actually wanted to talk a little bit more about Saraswati before we go into, I promised that today is about flow. And so we're going to move into that, but can we see the slideshow? The original, there were two slides that I had, Sydney, there were two slides that I had you skip over. Can we go back to those? But let me also, hold on, I know further back. Up. Yes, these ones. Thank you. Okay, so I want to talk a little about Saraswati, but first I want to go kind of back. We're exploring flow in a different way. And so flow and inspiration. And so I promise everything is going to tie in. But first, I want to talk about, this idea of inspiration, which I know we worked with yesterday, but it's going to connect in a second. So this is a beautiful quote from Sally Kempton, who wrote this incredible book, Awakening Shakti, which, Saraswati is one of the goddesses in this book. And so here it says, the English word inspiration comes from the Latin inspire, which means to breathe. In the Greek and Kabbalistic traditions, inspiration was sometimes described as breathing in God, who is breathing life into us. So I want you to just kind of sit with that for a moment, that kind of like breathing in inspiration, breathing in the divine, and also the divine is breathing us. And now can we switch to the next slide? Okay, beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm reading in the chat. I don't know, did Sally Kempton pass away? Let me just see. Oh, I did not know that she recently passed. Okay, that makes me feel like it's even more important that we're here sharing her work. Wow, thank you for sharing that. I like this book, Awakening Shakti by Sally Kempton, was one of the most important books I ever read. Title of this section is Breathing Her In. So this is a little bit of a long quote, but bear with me. I think this is the only big quote I have for you guys today. So Sally Kempton wrote, daily meditation practices. And this is really more of like these kind of traditional, like kind of Hindu, like meditation practices. Daily meditation practices nearly always include a moment where we breathe in the energy or the light of the deity. This is more like deity meditation, literally taking her energy into our own being. We can gently inhale her as Saraswati, the subtle clarity that connects the mind to the subtle world and infuses our thoughts and speech with wisdom. The gift of Saraswati is said to be the power to speak truth, such that even your casual words turn out to be true. When you are in tune with this goddess, speech comes from the place of truth inside you. In Saraswati's realm, words are a direct expression of cosmic realities. And so I wanted to share this because our last activation of the day, there is going to be a moment for you to really breathe in this energy of Saraswati. And so I want to just find, I think it's here. It's like, daily meditation practices nearly always include a moment where we breathe in the energy or the light of the deity. So in our next meditation, I'm just letting you guys know now, there's going to be a moment where if it feels good and aligned for you, you can really breathe in the energy of Saraswati. And I think it really makes sense to do this for this goddess in particular, because like I said, she is more celestial, more heavenly. She really has that embodiment of the air element. So just know that you can really breathe in that energy, and you really are breathing in the goddess, breathing her into your being. And when you breathe her into your being, you can see here, she infuses our thoughts and speech with wisdom and the power to speak truth. So really, when I think of truth, I think of the truth is that you are divine. The truth is that you have all of the power of the universe within you. And Saraswati puts you in touch with that truth. So now can we go to some of the later slides? I think the next one, this one. Okay. So now I promised that I was going to connect everything. So the sacred connection between bliss and flow. And this is also important because, oh, Rita just wrote, Sally's last post on Facebook was on Saraswati. Oh my God, I did not know. Okay, I am like really, I'm like literally, I feel like tears in the back of my eyes. I'm so glad that we are sharing her work with the world today. So this thing that I'm about to share now, this is like something that really came through me when I was really, sitting in meditation, trying to figure out what was supposed to come through for today. And the goddess showed me like this. I don't know if you guys can see my little arrows. This is the image that she showed me. And it was like bliss, flow. And it was like one of those kind of infinite things. And so I was and it kind of like was like an instant download. And it was like, when you're in a state of flow, you're always in a state of bliss. These two things circle back and forth infinitely. I wish I probably should have made like an infinity sign. But that was the best I could do with my computer. So the more you're in flow, my wonderful assistant is making the infinity sign for me. The more you're in flow, the more blissful you are. And of course, the more blissful you feel, the more you're in a state of flow. So that's really why I wanted to open with that energy. And so now I have one small writing exercise for us before we move into our final meditation. So yes, this is just going to be probably, I'm going to give you not that much time, maybe 4 minutes. So this is not going to be a long one, but so this is really for you to kind of experience, like just kind of go in your body and think about what is your relationship with flow now, today. When was the last time you sat down to write and felt like you were in a state of flow? Describe what it felt like, what came through. Did you feel transported? And if you don't remember a time when you felt in flow with writing, think of a time when you experienced flow in another area of your life. What was that like? And so I'm going to give you 4 minutes. So it's 2:04 now. I will give you a 2-minute warning. Okay, so 2 minutes left. Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to let, if anyone wants to share, I'm only going to do a max of 2 people, but is there anyone that would like to share what they wrote? Oh, no, not yes. Pamela. Okay. Okay. We have 2 people who just raised their hand. Okay, Pamela, let me get to you first. I'm going to put you here. Hi.
Hi. I didn't actually write anything because I'm at work again today, and between that and the technology issues, it's been fun. But this, I actually had a moment of clarity when this came up during the session, and I'm like, okay, this is coming at me and it's time. So what is really interesting about this question is that I have spent a lot of years trying to do NaNoWriMo, which is the National Novel Writing, right? Which is an amazing concept, but it has always been very difficult for me. I've been doing that as a means to try to get my writing kickstarted. It's very hard with a full-time job and life and everything else. And so I have struggled with that. And so this question about, when you write in the flow, is so appropriate, because what's happened is I have stopped trying to regulate my writing like that in the last couple of months, and I have just let it come through. And the word that I would use to describe that feeling or my experience with that is effortless.
Ooh.
There is nothing I have to do. I just let it happen, and I am the conduit, and it's there. So I just thought, the fact that I haven't been able to really give 100% attention to this, but that came up right when I had a break in the clouds was perfect. So effortless.
I love that. We have someone in the chat saying they also wrote down effortless. So it's like, that is amazing.
I love it.
I love that. No, because I think so many times with writing, we have this idea that it has to be hard. So for some reason, what comes up for me is, I also love, I love all great works of art. And one of my favorite stories is called The Agony and the Ecstasy. It's about Michelangelo's time painting the Sistine Chapel.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's it has to be the agony and the ecstasy. It has to be this intense thing. And when you're it's effortless, that is such a different energy, such a different frequency. So
and it flows better. That's the thing, is that if you just let it happen, I find my works are much better when I do it that way rather than trying to force it.
Yes, no, absolutely. Because I think when we think we're making it better by when we're doing that, when you're exerting yourself, that's not the best writing. The best writing just comes from such a deep place inside you that it just shoots out effortlessly.
Yeah. Love it.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing, especially being present when I know that you're at work. Thank you. You're dedicated to your writing. I appreciate it. Okay, let me remove the pin. And Michelle, I know that you were the other person. Let me add the pin. Hi. Well, I think you're still muted, actually. Can you unmute yourself?
Okay.
Perfect. Perfect. All good. I can hear you.
I wrote about working in my garden because I have to confess, I don't do much creative writing. I used to do a lot of formal writing. So for me, bliss is in my garden. I am in flow working in my garden, but I never work in my garden. I play. There is no time. Nothing is waiting to be done. I'm not wet, cold, dirty, or hot. I just am. Pruning, digging, helping, forming, making comfortable, me and my plants. Your garden is beautiful, said my neighbor. I'm jealous.
I love that. You have a lot of love in the chat. People say they love that. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm so laughing at your last line. I love that little spark of humor. But I just love, some of the chat also wrote, I just am. And I love that you said it's not working in the garden, it's play.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like, we had someone who their word was effortless and your word was play. So really, I think that's so beautiful. You're making me want to go out in my garden. I usually, my garden is very unruly. I don't do a lot of tending. But I know what you mean. There's something about just like being in the natural world that brings you, I really feel like the word that's coming through for me is truth. Because when you're in the garden and you're in that play, you're just like fully in the joy of being alive. And
Yes.
I really feel like that's the truth. Like that's the truth of our human experience. And we sometimes we kind of lose that from moment to moment. We forget it. But deep in our hearts, we just know that that's why we're here. That's what we get to experience.
Mm.
Thank you. That was so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Okay, I'm just gonna check to see if there's anyone who wrote anything in the chat before we do our final activation. Let me just see. Oh, Claudine is saying Michelangelo was mentioned earlier in the chat. Yes, I love Michelangelo. I think I carry him in my field. I know that I'm not the only one though. I've been to Italy. I've been to the Sistine Chapel twice actually. So I love his work. Oh my God, yes. And yes, for everyone who shared, there is so much love in the chat for you guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna do one final activation for today. And this is flow, but it's also like your voice. This is to really activate your sacred voice because remember, Saraswati is goddess of like eloquence. And so I'm just gonna invite you guys to take another couple deep breaths and really close your eyes. I'm inviting Saraswati and source energy to really speak through me for all of you today, to really bring through the attunement, the sacred energy that you need to come into flow and the magic of your own voice. So now I'd like you to, feel yourself like in the room that you're in, rub your palms together, really get a sense of being grounded in your body. And then I invite you to take another deep breath and feel yourself transported through time and space. You find yourself walking down a dirt path in the middle of a valley surrounded by mountains. The air is cool on your skin. You hear the sound of running water and know a river approaches not far ahead. You follow the trail through a beautiful golden meadow, hearing the sound of rustling water the whole time. The sound grows louder and the path suddenly ends, and you find yourself at the mouth of a river. But it's not just any river, it's a sacred river, a river of light. The water glows. You take off your shoes slowly, treading lightly on the earth, and walk into this sacred river, 1 foot at a time, inching in little by little, feeling the water massage your toes and your calves. The river has a name. She whispers her name to you. I am Shakti, she says, divine feminine flow, the source of all creativity. Stand here now, feeling Shakti, feeling the sacred energy of flow in this river of light. Feel yourself one with it, part of it. Suddenly, in the middle of this beautiful sacred river, there appears a cosmic golden egg, a large, beautiful egg that just materializes before your very eyes. You are astounded and walk toward this egg, the sacred cosmic egg, with joy and wonder. Take a closer look at this egg that actually almost seems the size of your own body. And as you move closer, you hear what sounds like a bolt of lightning, yet the sky remains clear. Suddenly there's a crack down the side of this huge golden egg, which splits like a shell. And all of a sudden, the great goddess Saraswati emerges. The egg starts to fade away into the glowing mist, and in its place, Saraswati stands firmly on the ground before you, as radiant as you have ever seen her, with the red and gold sari. She wears a jeweled headdress with 2 swans at her feet. Both swans playfully float in the river. She says that today is a very important day, for we are here to activate the sacred power of flow within you. the sacred power of flow from this lifetime and others that you have graced this earth. She says, I have something very special for you today, a gift. You're surprised, a gift from the great goddess Saraswati. The goddess leans towards you, taking something that was hidden in the folds of her sari out now for you to see. She leans forward and hands you a special box. The gift she gives you is a music box. Really get a look at this very special music box from the goddess Saraswati. What does it look like? Is it made of wood? Is it porcelain? Is it made of gold? Really take in the special music box that is unique from the goddess just for you. You look around the box, and all of a sudden in the back, you see a small mechanism that winds up the box. She instructs you to wind up your music box and see what song is ready to come through. You take the box with trembling hands. You wind up the music box, round and round. All of a sudden, the top pops open. You hear a musical cadence, and suddenly, the most sublime, otherworldly music is playing. And inside this box is a beautiful porcelain dancer that dances round and round as the music continues. Saraswati tells you that this music box, this is your voice. This dancer who goes back and forth, she represents the gift of fluidity, the gift of being able to show up in the world, to speak musically, to let the words that come from your pen show up musically with divine grace and divine flow. Radiant as ever in her sari, Saraswati leans forward and touches the music box. The box is immediately surrounded by light. You feel a warmth, not just before you as you hold the box, but a warmth in your throat. And you realize that your throat chakra, is also encased by this beautiful light. Feel this light in your voice box, in your throat and throat chakra. As here in the space, we call in the power of your true voice, open to receive the highest level transmission from the great goddess Saraswati to fully open your voice to its greatest potential. Open fully to the sacred transfer of energy. Saraswati says, your voice is now fully activated. Stand strong in this river of pure flow and pure Shakti light. Here in this space, we activate your gifts of speech, of voice, and words. And now Saraswati says, I have one more gift for you. This gift is for you to always know the magic of flow. This is a surprise gift. She takes something else out, something that was hidden in the folds of her sari. What does she hand you? This is a gift that is unique for you and you alone. There is no one else in the world that has this unique gift. For Saraswati is giving this to you. It is meant for you and you alone. As she hands you the gift, another beautiful circle of light appears like a halo around this great gift, and just fully open to receive this from the goddess. Thank her for this gift. Know that it is something that you can take with you. And now Saraswati takes both of your hands in hers. The two of you are both suddenly surrounded by light. And this is the moment that if you choose, you may breathe in the energy of Saraswati into your being. This is your choice to breathe in the energy of this great goddess. Or if you prefer, just stand here, feeling her loving presence here beside you. Saraswati is truly overjoyed that you are here with her in this sacred space. She wants nothing more than to help you learn the mysteries, the magic of flow, the mysteries of coming into the sacred power of your voice. And as you hold her hands, whether you breathe Saraswati in or not, you might want to invite the goddess to merge with you, to merge her consciousness with yours. Or if you'd rather not merge with her, just ask to receive a blessing from this great goddess here today. And as you stand here, the two of you are just encased by the most blindingly beautiful golden light. And you feel this light all over your body, as if you have become the most radiant sun. And the two of you still stand in this flowing golden river of light. And Saraswati takes you by the hand, both of you radiant, glowing with light. And she takes you deeper into the heart of the river, into the heart of the stream. She raises your arms high to the sky. And both of you just feel the sun pouring down. You look below at the iridescence of the river, the Shakti river of divine feminine flow. And here in the space, open to receive a high level attunement from the universe, from source, from spirit, forever initiating you in the ways of divine feminine flow, in the ways of the sacred goddess Saraswati. Just open your heart to fully receive this. And as you're opening your heart to fully receive this, look at the water, the trail of the water, the way that it flows. The river is so sure of itself. It does not hesitate. It just keeps going with the utmost trust. The water doesn't know where it's headed, where it's going to end up. But flow, it does. For that is its nature. For that is its truth. And now here in this space, that truth is yours as well. Open your heart to this place, to the magic of this sacred glen with the goddess Saraswati. Just take a moment to just fully breathe in all of the magic of this space. Turn to the goddess Saraswati and see if she has any messages for you today, anything that wants to come through. Just fully open to receive any wisdom. And now maybe you have a gift for the goddess. If nothing comes to mind, don't worry about it. But maybe the gift is your favorite word. Maybe the gift is a beautiful memory that you want to share with her, or a favorite poem that comes to mind. But just share a little bit of yourself with the goddess in this moment. Share something beautiful with her, because she has shared something beautiful with you. And now I invite you to take a couple more deep breaths. Take one last look at this beautiful place. Say goodbye to Saraswati. Know that you can always return here, and the goddess will always be a thought away, a moment away, wanting to connect with you. So say goodbye and feel yourself transported once again through time and space, back to the room where we first began today's journey. And you might want to rub your hands together or move your feet against the floor and really just fully ground back into your body, really come back to this sacred space. And before we go, we have one last writing exercise. So if we can just pull up the slides, that would be amazing. Hold on, guys. In the meantime, while we're waiting for the slides to come on, just still bask in the energy of Saraswati. Just really just feel her still present with you. Okay, beautiful. So we have the prompts here. And so here, I'm going to give you 7 minutes. This is another like longer time to write. Describe the two gifts that came to you from the goddess Saraswati. Write about the sacredness of these gifts and what they mean to you. Or, think about a topic you wanted to write about, but felt like you weren't able to express yourself. Now describe Saraswati handing you one of these gifts and saying, you will now be in a state of flow, and write what comes through. Lastly, what did it feel like to stand in the currents of the river Shakti and experience the magical energy of flow with Saraswati? So it's 2:28. I'm going to give you 7 minutes. I realize I keep using my time. I know that you guys are in all parts of the world, but I'm going to give you 7 minutes and I'll give you a 2-minute warning. So this 7 minutes starts now. Okay, 2-minute warning. Okay, perfect. So, would anyone like to share what they've written or what came through for them? And like the slide says, you can share what happened for you in the meditation, or you can share what you wrote. Both are welcome here in this space. And I know that it's like, oh, Venus, you wrote, let me read what you wrote in the chat. My throat and heart chakra feel lit up from this meditation. My gift is a shell that whispers to me when I hold it to my ear, or like one of those conch shells. I love that. My gift to her is my goddess dance. I hope she likes it. Yes, I'm sure Saraswati loves your goddess dance. Oh, I love that. So yeah, no, I feel like I'm so glad. I know that, like, you know, we had a couple people leave, but I most of you have stayed this whole time, so I'm super grateful, because I feel like I usually push people. I'm always like, let's keep going. So I'm so glad. Jennifer, I'd love to hear what you experienced. Let me pin you.
Okay. So I'm actually just going to share kind of from the meditation. And the second gift that, oh gosh, it was so potent. Basically, what she gave me was the gift of like an enhanced and flow state ability to communicate with animals and other like sentient life. So trees and crystals and rocks and Mother Earth and so on, but also in transcribing that and being a clear voice for them into the world. And it's like totally dovetails with what Spirit has kind of shown me over the last couple of years as being my work in the world. So it was just such a potent gift to receive. And the other piece of it was that I forgot the languaging, like it was like so potent in the moment, and then I'm trying to write it and then I'm like, wait, how did she say that?
You're in that state and it's like, this is so beautiful. Wait, what did she say?
Yeah, kind of. But the gist of it is that I can, through my communication, through my voice, I can be heard by those that cannot hear.
Ooh, I love that. I felt that.
Mhm.
Especially like when you just said, you know, you're talking about being a conduit for animals, for trees. I love that, because I feel like, I mean, Saraswati is this great goddess of communication. So we think of that as human communication, but what you have been gifted with is communication that's beyond our human senses. So I just think that's so powerful. I feel like your soul is a power. That's what's coming through. Your soul is a powerful communicator. Like You are a powerful communicator. It's just you really stepping into that, owning that, and fully opening your channel and trusting your gifts. I feel like that's like kind of my sense with you is I don't feel like you fully trust all of your gifts, but they're all like online. They're like online, and you have goddesses like Saraswati, like really like trying to make you feel like you can trust. You can trust your ability to create, to communicate. You can trust your ability really to believe in yourself. That's really the energy that's coming through for me as I'm talking to you. I just feel like recognizing the beauty of your gift and recognizing that like you're just like activating that. Like today you activated that, but like I really feel like this is something that you should start to feel like more confident, like that you are here to be this communicator, not just to human beings, but even beyond that. And just knowing that like not a lot of people are called to express themselves the way that you are. So that is a very, very special thing.
That touches my heart so much. Thank you. I feel very emotional when everything that you said feels like 100% dead on. And I do struggle with trusting myself. It's something I'm really working through right now. And a lot of backstory on that don't need to get into, but it's so fascinating what you just said, and I love it, and I'm so grateful for everything you just said. Thank you, because it's fascinating. The gift that I gave back to her was to stand in my power and not let the things from my past hold me back anymore.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like, I think you spoke yesterday too. I don't think your camera was on, but yes, I feel like this is a moment when you work with these goddesses, they want you to be in your full power. That's the whole thing. They don't want you to play small, and they want you to leave the past back there, because they're like,
yes.
No, in that back there, you were, experiencing the illusion of limitation, of not feeling powerful. And that's the whole thing, is that someone who can communicate, like you said, with trees and with animals and with crystals, that is someone who just like the goddess kind of just leans back and just trusts and knows her power in the world, her magic in the world. And that's really what they're inviting you to do, is to sit back and really love. Like, I really feel like kind of to love all of these gifts that are coming alive for you, and to just really start to trust that the thing that you are here to bring to the world, it is so potent, it is so special, it is so beautiful, and that there isn't another soul like you who can do exactly what you're doing. And the goddesses want you to know that, recognize that, and let that be the thing that anchors you in your power.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Oh,
you are a beautiful person. Thank you so much for the gifts that you're bringing to the world. And I'm so grateful to have been here with you to benefit from and receive what you're putting out. So thank you.
Thank you. I think you were supposed to be here in this 3-day journey. So I'm honored to be here with you too.
Thank you.
So let me just see. I want to just make sure before we say goodbye that there isn't anyone else who wants to share. Let me just check in the chat to make sure there's no one else. Oh, so okay. I'm going to read some of what has been written in the chat. Nicole wrote that, you read about your inhibitions with writing and people pleasing. I understand that one. And, trying to put out an image of adventure and beauty and love. Oh, I like that. But you don't know how to bring it back. The weight of the world does not fit on my shoulders, but I keep trying to hold it. I understand. I really feel like, kind of my sense with that is that like, it's not all yours to hold. I feel like what you can really do is stand in your power and shine your light and bring your love and your joy to the world, because that's what's going to be lifting everyone up. Like, I feel like the weight of the world is too much for any one person. So like, that's the whole thing, is that I really feel like what we need is not more heaviness and carrying that, but really just when we choose to be in our joy, when we choose to be in that love energy, in that bliss energy, like I just feel that ripples out. I just really feel that's kind of my message for you, my wisdom for you. I hope that resonates. And let me just see if there is anyone else. If there's anyone else who see. So I think that's it. But so I think before I close out today, is there anyone else I know it's been a long day. I feel like I have like these like goddess warriors here who are like, that's it. We're going to stay to the end. I know I really push people. It's one of the things I do because I just get so excited. I want you guys to all reach your highest potential. But so before we close out, we have our raffle for today. And I shared yesterday what the prizes were, so I won't share them again. But just know that if you won yesterday, you are going to get an email from me at the end of the third day for you to pick your prize. And you can actually, if you get picked, like you can win again. I want you to know that you can actually win twice. The only thing is that you have to be here. So like if you were here in the beginning and then you left, like you have to actually be here at the end of the call to be eligible. So today we are picking 2 winners, and I'll just briefly tell you about the prizes one more time. So one is a book about Bridget called Tending Bridget's Flame. Love this book, life-changing book on the goddess Bridget. You're going to have a choice of 2 different notebooks. Both very, very beautiful notebooks. One is like a smaller, like jeweled, beautiful. They're all the things I picked. They're all very kind of like fairy-like and otherworldly. So I think that, one of those notebooks, you'll like one of them. And the other option is a book called The Artist's Way, which is a powerful manual for like creatives who are really wanting to to follow a path that is also deeply connected to their spirituality. And it's a life-changing book. That I think that Elizabeth Gilbert, who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, said there would be no Eat, Pray, Love without The Artist's Way. Like it really is a transformative manual. It's a beautiful book about creativity. So I just wanted to let you guys know the prizes again. And so without further ado, Sydney, can you it's like, I feel like we have this magical wheel. It's like our Wheel of Fortune. Can we make it? Hold on. Okay. So I think we're spinning the wheel. Hopefully, I think.
We have a winner.
Okay, Rita. Okay, I'm going to, like I said, I'll send you an email by the end of the day. The challenge ends tomorrow, so I will send you an email after the challenge is over. I'll show you the prizes. You'll be able to pick which prize you want. And can we do this one more time for our second winner for today? I feel like we're on like Wheel of Fortune. I'm really excited. It's like, yes. Who is our second winner? Is it ready? Okay, so
congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay, so I think it's Sybil. I know that we spoke earlier. Okay, so I'm going to, like I said, you'll receive an email from me by the end of the day tomorrow with links to all of the prizes, and you can pick which one resonates the most. But so one thing I wanted to say, so tomorrow is our last day of the 3-day challenge. And so we're going to be focusing on enchantment with the goddess Carriagewin. I'm really, really excited. It's going to be a fun day. But I do want to also just share 2 final announcements. So announcement 1 is because there were a lot of people who tried to get into the call yesterday and there were problems with Zoom. I'm so sorry about that. So what I'm actually going to do is we're going to do a bonus call because I feel like I promised people 3 live calls, with me, with the goddesses. And I know that the replay is amazing, but it's still not the same as being here live. So I definitely want to offer, there'll be a bonus call. I decided it's actually going to be on the Lionsgate 8/8, and we'll be working with the goddess Hathor. I was not planning on doing anything for the Lionsgate. So this literally, I feel like this was all spirit because I was not planning on doing a fourth day. But I really felt Hathor's presence throughout my entire preparation for this 3-day challenge, which is why I made I'm sure you guys saw my email. There's a special Hathor activation that you can get, if you share about this challenge on social media, you can have the Hathor throat chakra activation. But it was weird because Hathor's presence was so strong, and that's why I offer that activation. But now I realize that I think this was almost like a divine play, so that we would have this extra bonus call. So that will be on the Lion's Gate. I don't know the theme yet. I just know that the goddess Hathor is really wanting to make herself known. And Hathor is also a goddess of sacred sound, of creativity, and the arts. So it's going to be a very powerful call, especially with the energy of the Lion's Gate. So that is the first announcement. The second announcement is, like tomorrow is like I said, it was going to be the last day of the challenge, but now there's going to be this extra bonus call. But I am going to also be sharing more about how you can go deeper into these different goddess energies and continue working with me. If you want to know more about that, at the end of tomorrow's call, I'm going to share more about how you can go deeper. So that's just something I wanted to give you a heads up that was coming. And I've just loved every moment with all of you today. Thank you so much for everyone who is here live on the call. It has been so much fun. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm so happy for everyone who is here. So I'm just sending all of you so much love, and I will see you again tomorrow.